What's going on, guys? Thrillz on a block back again in the garage with a 67 Chevelle Project Motivation. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, I have been ready to sell this car at least a dozen times. I have painted this car 4 times. I have fought with metalworking and bodyworking and all of these things. Floor pans, got a new fuel tank. You saw the video on the trunk. And this most recent thing with the transmission has been enough to drive me crazy. To drive me absolutely crazy. Now, what happened was the 400, the TH400 that was in the car, quit pulling. I had just put a new transmission filter and fluid in it before this happened, and it was fine, and it moved. And then it sat for another year at the block shop, and then I got over here and it wouldn't move, so I ended up pulling the transmission out, putting in a 204R, which is the same size roughly transmission with a 4th gear and an overdrive. Well, in doing that, I created more work for myself because even though the transmission was about an inch shorter, the yoke didn't go in quite as far. I couldn't get the drive shaft to fit back in. It was 3/16 of an inch too long. That's right, 3/16 of an inch too long. So I cut down another drive shaft, welded up another yoke, or cut down another drive shaft, welded it up, changed U-joints again, another yoke, a hybrid U-joint for the rear to make everything work together, and this thing moved out of the garage, which I was excited about because it had been years. I started on this car in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. 2014, 2016. So it's been a decade and it's still not done. And I was ready to just part ways with it because it was wearing me out no matter what I did. Every single thing fought me, including this last thing, which was the transmission. This didn't fit, that didn't fit, bolts breaking, bolts wouldn't fit, having to go and finagle with one thing after another. And for whatever reason, probably the Lord, I nicknamed this thing Motivation. This car did anything but motivate. If anything, I was ready to just burn it to the ground, which I think I even said in the video before. With all that said, let's talk a couple things. I was in the process of, now I will say the block took this car from me because I was about to sell it, and he said, "You're not selling the car, I will take it, I will hide it." And he did. He hid it for about 3 years because I was at a place where we were growing as a family, and just going to liquidate it, which I'm glad that I didn't because now I get the opportunity to finish this. But let's talk about a couple of things that have kind of sparked that, aside from the fact that I just need to get it done. A few months back, a gentleman had posted some seat covers for a 67 Chevelle, which the bucket seats in here need to be recovered, and he gave those seat covers to me at no cost. I'm not going to lie. They were free. They weren't brand new. They were in his 66. He pulled them out of his 66 because he needed matching seat covers for the year of his car, and that's how I ended up with the covers. He also gifted me this, which is an unused, or maybe slightly used, package tray cover, which goes back here in the back of the car. Now my interior is going to be black, and as you can see, this is pretty much a brand new piece. Got a couple wrinkles in there, I guess, where it got folded. But yeah, so he gifted me that as well as seat covers for this car. A neighbor had a set of black door panels, even though I have a newer set of door panels, maybe a brand new set of door panels that over the course of 6 or 7 years, I can't find. I have no idea where they're at. I know they were in this building at one point in time. They were in the block shop at one point in time. And I can't find them, so hopefully I will find those. But another buddy of mine, VEHCOR Customs, sent me a set of black door panels for the Chevelle. So as all these things were starting to come together, I was like, maybe this is just me needing to finish this car because over time, patience has paid off and everything is starting to come together. Now, in this video, we're going to take care of cutting out what's underneath here to install these speakers because I am going to do this. I will do the speakers since this was a gift, and I'm going to take out these screens that are here and probably put some metal screens in, and or I will put in a drop-in speaker over the top. Now, more than likely, I'll do a base-mounted speaker, or a speaker that mounts underneath the bottom and just have some metal grates here or something like that. If you guys have anything creative, drop me a comment in the section. Drop me a comment down below in the comment section, or if you know of something that works really well, you can hit me up on Instagram at 3wheels1block, or email me 3wheels1block@gmail.com, because I'm always interested in what everybody else is doing. This will be my first time doing an interior start to finish, because it literally is start to finish. You see no carpet in here, and no headliner up there, and those door cards, or the rear passenger cards, need to be kind of cleaned up. I think I can salvage those. At least that's my plan. And then the front doors need door panels. I've already repainted this upper section here, and as you can see, I've got my new chrome strips in on the front, on the inside and outside of the door. And I've got the rest of this rubber that goes in here. I've accumulated all these parts so I can put this car back together. I was going to do the interior gray. As you see, that's gray there. And this was going to be gray with black door panels and kind of do a two-tone, but I'm going black with everything because I think that's just the direction to go. So it'll be seasick blue, and everything else will be black. Simple enough. Just keeping it simple. Go ahead and knock it out, get it done, so I can enjoy driving this thing down the road. So that is the brief update on the 67 Chevelle. And yes, the 50 Dodge is in here still, and we are going to continue work on that. I actually paused work on this car because I was having issues with my shoulder, and that delayed a lot of things. I ended up going through physical therapy for several weeks in order... Okay, so I went through physical therapy for several months in order to get my shoulder back where it needed to be at. So thank you to the owner of the Dodge for being patient with that, because I knew I couldn't paint. I could do some sanding, but I needed to make sure that I had the strength back in my shoulder before I made things worse. So that's why it's still sitting here. And this is here now because the transmission ended up getting swapped with the help of the block. So that's why it's sitting in here. So I could move it in and out without pushing it, because I have been pushing this car around too much, way too much. And with a hurt shoulder, it definitely was not going to get any better. So now that I can fire it up, put it in gear, drive it out in and out of the shop, that makes a huge difference. I think that wraps it up for this video. And the next, that wraps it up for me talking. I'm going to go ahead and take care of cutting out this section right here, and we'll get it prepped for the speakers. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with a 6x9 or a set. I'll probably go with a 6x9. And I'll probably go with a raised one above this little piece back here, above the package tray. Thought about doing something underneath, but the more I think about it, I think I'll just go with a raised one, because that way it'll kind of sit over the top. I won't have to worry about touching the window, because the window sits all the way back here. I will need to take care of painting this little strip so it'll be black inside the car. But I think I'll go ahead and cut out for the speakers, and instead of mounting them underneath, I'll mount them over the top. Now, originally this car had one center speaker as an option. That's what that is in the center. And then these other pieces that are here are for something else originally. I don't remember. It's been several years since I put in this package tray for this car. So I think, I did this trunk extension or package tray. I did wheel arches. Those were done. And I think that was it as far as the metal work, aside from the floor pans, because it didn't have floor pan. Well, the floor pans needed to be patched. Somebody cut the whole pan out on both sides and it welded those back in. And that's about where it's at right now. Got a little bit more work to do on one of the floor pans that I just didn't finish up years ago. But I probably won't do that on camera. I'll just go with the interior finishes, because that's really what I like. I've got to find my headliner. I had a brand new headliner a few months ago. Actually, a couple years ago. Then I found it a couple months ago. And then I put it up so it wouldn't get dirty. And now I can't find it, because that's what happens when you have a lot of stuff going on. It was in the car, and now it's not. So I don't know what I did with it. Let's see. Aside from that, I think that's about it. We got the new grill put in. We got the headlights put in. We got the new front bumper put on. or actually that's the original front bumper. If I'm not, yep, that is the original front bumper. It was in decent shape, as you can tell. New emblems, and I went with these. I probably should have just gone with flags because this is a 327 car. It may be getting a big block. It might be getting one because it just might. So we'll get rid of making the what was it you guys say about the badges, the fake badges? We'll make those fake badges real by putting some 396 cubic inch variant under the hood at some point in time, because right now she's got a 327. Granted, it's the 325 horsepower 327. It's plenty enough for this car for a cruiser, but we may put a big block in. I mean, that's what everybody else does, right? Yeah, aluminum radiator. You see all the nice chrome accessories. Now, she does not have power steering. She does not have power brakes. I do have a power steering box in which I will install probably over the winter. Same thing with the brakes. I'll probably do power brakes then. The drum brakes actually stop the car pretty well. And because I don't track the car, I think it'll be sufficient to do what I need to do. So I won't go and pursue the brake swap right now. I will be putting a new windshield in because this old one is just old. And I have a new one to replace it. Take care of the rubbers, as I said, and take care of putting it in the back window, which is sitting over here on the table getting prepped to be put back in. So yeah, that's the story on the 67 Chevelle, Project Motivation. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name's Erwin. This is Three Wheels on a Block, where we're giving back what time is taken away. We'll see you soon.